My name is Jenna Palant, and I'm a style-crazed full-time creative living in sunny San Diego. In 2016, my husband and I purchased our forever home, and now, in between balancing my upholstery business, our 4 dogs, and just life in general, I'm going to renovate our home room by room, project by project myself, with some fun help from a few of my friends along the way. And I'm going to share it all with you right here on YouTube. So, are you ready to see a room bloom?
Man, I sure left y'all hanging, didn't I, color lovers? Whatever happened to the Atomic Atrium project? Did I miss the sunken living rooms reveal or something? Wait, let me get this straight. You're working on a half bathroom now? I know, color loves. And I am so incredibly sorry. If you remember last episode, oh, you mean 2 months ago? Last episode, my supplies had just been delivered for the sunken living room's concrete benches. Well, everything but the actual concrete countertop mix itself. Not to mention the Atomic Atrium's penny tile is still on back order as well. So sadly, I had to put a tack in the entire Home Depot sponsored project, as I was actually unexpectedly asked to be in the Jeffrey Court Spring 2021 Renovation Challenge. Yeah? What's that? Well, since you asked, the Jeffrey Court Renovation Challenge is a 6-week-long competition where DIY designers will renovate an entire space with Jeffrey Court tile, start to finish, each trying to win the competition's $5,000 cash prize. And each week, us designers have been sharing with you our own individual renovations on our blogs and social media channels to hopefully earn your vote as your favorite Jeffrey Court 2021 renovation. And for said challenge, I decided it was a kismet opportunity to return back to that dang half-bath renovation that I never finished for the one-room challenge back in the fall of 2019, back when my grandma Margaret unexpectedly passed away, which was the last time I worked on said bathroom. I say it was a kismet opportunity because 1, someone actually had miraculously dropped out of the competition and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and 2, because I actually already had Jeffrey Court tile in the half bath soon-to-be powder room's design. Now, I know I said I had worked on the half bath before.
I am legit scared to go back in here, y'all.
But,
oh man.
Please don't by any means think that that means I have a head start or something with its history and all.
That'd be where I left her.
Because she's still got a long ways to go before we can even begin to call her a powder room. Back in the fall of 2019, basically only a third of the demo actually happened. We actually had some plumbers working at the house at the same time right before the ORC started, so I asked them if they would politely help a DIYer out and remove both the old toilet and sink vanity from the space. I also turned around and donated said sink vanity to the Habitat for Humanity's Restore. And then I only really demoed parts of the original tile floor and only the pretty part of the Blah-tastic beige stripe wallpaper. So yeah, I still had the subfloor and the remaining wallpaper parts to scrape off. The demo was not done, people. Once I got the remaining floor tile out, I had a hell of a time getting the subfloor out. So much so, I'm not even gonna show you the B-roll because I had such a potty mouth and, well, I did some pretty unsafe, questionable stuff to get them out. So yeah, I'm not gonna share it as an example of what to do. I had always wondered why the baseboards in this room were so much shorter in height than the rest of the home's baseboards. And you wanna know why that was? There was a flipping company who owned our house right before the previous owners did. And well, the dang flipping company, I kid you not, legit glued new subfloor and tile over the home's original subfloor and linoleum. Yeah, I got a little heated trying to get these liquid nailed in place beat up boys out, but I persisted and I won in the end. A lot of dang work just to do things right. Next, after realizing the half bath's floor was a little wonky, I whipped up some Level Quick and got to pouring. And if you have never worked with Level Quick, oh my gosh, it is such an amazing product. By far the easiest way to level a floor. And once that fully cured, I installed new hardy backer on top of said Level Quick. Then got to building a platform for the vintage 1928 cast iron pedestal sink I salvaged for this half bath. And shoot, I actually meant to write this figure down, but the pedestal sink is something like 32 inches tall. And the standard nowadays is 36 to 38 inches. It wasn't too difficult to build, it will just make tiling a little bit more tricky. That's all. After I got the platform all built and covered in hardy backer as well, it was time to waterproof. Now there will be some arguments with half baths that red guard isn't necessary. And, well, I beg to differ because you never know when a toilet is gonna overflow on you. So in my opinion, better safe than sorry. Then, once the red guard had dried 24 hours, it was time to start making some of the gritty pretty. But before I did that, I wanted to see exactly where I was going to install the sink. And that's where I might have had a wee bit of a slight heart attack when I attempted to install said cast iron sink because, well, she's vintage. And come to find out, doesn't have all of her bloody parts. So after my little Jenna mini trades meltdown, I texted my neighbor, fellow DIY enthusiast John McKay, and he graciously came over so we could MacGyver me a solution. Then after dry fitting the tiles, it was time to adhere those gorgeous Jeffrey Court beauties into place, making sure not to walk on them for 48 hours. Before I started installing that first pop of blue into this half bath with yet another one of Jeffrey Court's beautiful tile, I intensely mulled over each of the blue tiles' placement, mixing all the boxes of the blue Jeffrey Court tile for the bathroom's accent wall, and then mulling and mixing them even more, tinkering with them, allowing their variation of hue to ultimately tell a visual story, like a waterfall flowing to the ground. Taking breaks in between the blue tiles installation to work on other aspects of the Reno, like anchoring that cast iron sink to its platform. It was also around this time in the challenge I got a wild hair of an idea and actually acted upon it. There's nothing like adding an additional element in the 11th hour, Jenna. Yepers, y'all, that is your color-loving queen gold leafing the future powder room. It just dawned on me that a boring ceiling, it wasn't going to give this whimsical half bath justice with all of its other brass elements. So gold leafed ceiling it was. With tiling, it's also important to remember to reroute anything you might need to underneath its future surface beforehand. And in this half bath case, I had to reroute its lighting's electrical for 2 new sconces. So once I got the tile up to a certain point, in this case the mirror sconce lighting area, the accent wall, I had to hit pause on the tiling again and start obsessing over the location and the placement of said interior items. And this is where I get super anal retentive as an interior designer. This is also a time in the renovation process that feels like a catch-22 to me because I am ultimately making more work for myself. But there is only really one way I know how to reroute electrical, and that's by cutting into the drywall in multiple areas. So huzzah! Which once the electrical was rerouted and the location of the mirror and sconces has been figured out, it's time to remedy the damage I just caused. See why it feels like a catch-22? It was also time to focus my attention on all the other remaining tasks in the challenge. Like installing the tile-less wainscoting throughout the entire bathroom space, applying the new toilet paper wallpaper, then grouting. So much grouting. Ugh. The time was ticking way too fast, people. Thankfully, none of the tile gave me trouble, but man, Murphy's Law was killing me with this frickin' wallpaper.
Gosh darn it!
I legit had a crying meltdown. The decorative part of the wallpaper was so freaking delicate. I don't even have nails, and every time I turned around, I had somehow nicked an area on it. But miraculously, I MacGyvered a solution. I wonder if you'll notice in the reveal. And then after grouting faster than I've ever grouted in my entire life, I went to bed for a few wee hours of shut-eye. Waking up early the next morning to not only repair parts of the wallpaper I had damaged, but also install the rest of the final details. Godspeed, Jenna. so weird. Oh, this thing is so heavy. Nope. And I actually managed to get done just in time for my photographer Louie to show up and work his magic with his camera for the challenge's official reveal. Yepers, as you can see by all of that renovation footage, I had to accomplish so dang much in 6 weeks' time with this renovation. And I was a bit naive, thinking my first bathroom design anything, even though it was small like this one, wouldn't be as much work as the living spaces I usually design. Boy, was I so freaking wrong. I didn't know then, but I definitely do know now. Even have a little PTSD. And even though there were some moments this last weekend with the final renovation details where I was seriously questioning myself, my sanity, my choice in career path, I am beyond proud of all my hard work and am over the moon with how stupendous all this Jeffrey Court tile looks within this colorful space I demoed, renovated, and designed myself. I hope you've enjoyed this first look of how our half bath turned into a powder room. If your eyes fancied all the hard work and the vision coming to reality, please not only smash that like button, but please vote for me daily via the link in the description directly below. I have 1 week left, people, to win this thing. And I need all the help I can get. Please send the link to your friends and family, especially if you want color and uniqueness to win in this competition. I will definitely share the voting results with you next episode when we return back to the Atomic Atrium project. That's right, color loves. The concrete countertop mix is finally here. Stay tuned.